And once they have got a microchip into you, that's it. They can control you completely. This is what they are going to do. This is the plan. Now, people are waking up to this, so they're testing their new bioweapons. They're testing all their vaccines and all of these things. This whole swine flu thing is a complete fraud. It's a bioweapon. This is what the PNAC document called for. Everything that it says in that document is what these people are doing. Now, Obama isn't going to save you. Obama is just the front man for this. I mean, he's been made the head of the UN Council. Well, I thought it was against the law in America to be head of a foreign organization if you were the president. So how is Obama head of the UN Council? He's committing 40,000 to 60,000 more troops to the war in the Middle East, which is completely illegal. He's been just given the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, this whole thing is such a setup. And this is the reality that they are creating for this cycle that we're going through. We are at the end of a very long cycle. I've just released my film, The Awakening, a few weeks ago. It might be a little esoteric for some. I've sort of gone out on a limb with it. I'm trying to make people understand what's going on with the nature of this reality. This is the end of a cycle, folks. We can change this entire reality simply by changing the energy field around us. This is what happens at the end of every cycle. And I know that sounds incredibly esoteric to a lot of people, but this is literally what happens. If you really go and look at things, folks, if you really start looking at the Bible, start reading the missing books out of the Bible, start understanding how energy works around you. Look at even what the Mayan calendar and all of this stuff says. The Mayan calendar isn't about the end of the world, folks. It's about a period of change. It's about a period in the shift of energy. And this is happening. This is absolutely happening. You can prove it by the rise in the human cavity resonance, the end of the zodiac cycle, everything. It all points to this. Everything points to this. The science of cymatics shows that high frequencies produce greater complexities of form. So this is causing the entire human consciousness to go to a higher level. We're waking up. Human consciousness is waking up. But there are certain forces that are in control of this planet that want to control that wake-up, and they want to create a reality that we really don't want, folks. We really don't want, because what we are loving, beautiful people, and we are all connected to each other. And what the governments of the world are trying to create is a total police state. This is what they're trying to create. And they're trying to get these chips into us and get us onto these vaccines and these drugs and fill everybody full of as many neurotoxins as possible through all the processed foods and the fluoridated water and the chemtrails and everything they're doing in order to be able to control the consciousness through this shift. Now, I know this sounds esoteric, as I said, but this is what's happening, folks. This is what's happening. I really urge you to watch my film, The Awakening. It's free for download on the website. You can give it out to people, burn copies, do what you want with it, distribute it any way you want. It's posted on YouTube as well. It's all free, folks. It's all free. Just get the information out to people. Get people to understand that this is quite literally a matrix that we're living in. That's why this show is called Surviving the Matrix, I guess, folks. But all of the stuff that goes on in the world that is done by the controlling elite, like all of Obama's warmongering, all of the things that I talked about in the previous 30 minutes, this is all done to generate fear, to generate discomfort, to generate polarized energy. And you say, well, look, I'm not in fear. I'm not in fear. Everything's okay. I'm not in fear. I'm having a great time. I enjoy watching Britney Spears on the TV, and I don't really care what's going on out there. They're all terrorists. Well, what if they're not terrorists, folks? What if our governments are the terrorists? And what if they are harvesting energy off all of these people? The people in Afghanistan and Iraq, these people are devastated. Their whole countries have been bombed into almost non-existence. The United States government is going over there. They're bombing farms in Afghanistan. What the hell is going on, folks? And Obama is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for going out and literally raping the rest of the world. And this is what's happening. And it's happening because we are allowing it to happen. We've got our government supporting it. We've got Prime Minister Crud here in Australia supporting this type of international terrorism. We've got Gordon Brown, the Illuminati puppet in England, supporting this type of terrorism. This is terrorism. Now, I've been a lot of places and I've met a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with any of these countries. These are not terrorists. The whole Al-Qaeda, it's rubbish. It's lies. It doesn't exist. This is blatant takeover of all countries that don't have a central bank. And it's been committed by a banking cartel that runs all Western governments. They have you enslaved to unnecessary debt through a completely corrupt monetary system. They've got you drinking and eating toxins every single day of your life, and you are dumbed down to the extent where you're actually arguing whether planes flying overhead spraying you with chemicals are contrails or chemtrails. It's unbelievable. Stand back and look at the bigger picture, folks. They're doing this to control your consciousness through this shift, through this cycle. I really do urge you to go and watch my film, The Awakening, and to watch what's going on. If you really want to know how to fix the problems that we are facing in the world today, the way to do it is to wake up. And wake up people around you. That's how to do it. Stop complying with this system. Stop getting caught up in this unnecessary treadmill of non-reality that they have got you thinking is reality, because it's not. The reality is that we are all connected to each other. All that actually exists in this reality is energy on a basic level. Now, science has even proven, as I've said many times on these shows, science has proven that your consciousness is not local to your body. This body is a biological computer experiencing one frequency that it is downloading from the surrounding field. This reality is fractal. I've talked about this so much on these shows. This is how to fix the problem, folks. This is honestly how to fix the problem. Put yourself in an energetic state of love. Love and empathy for all. And if you're in a state of love and empathy for all, I'm not talking about hugging your neighbour. I'm talking about all people on this planet. We are all connected. If my government is involved in campaigns that go out and bomb people in Afghanistan, that bomb their food, that leave children starving and maimed and injured, and whole countries covered with depleted uranium, then I'm in a very bad state if I allow that to happen. If I allow that to happen unquestioningly, then I'm hypnotized. You've got to understand your connection to people, to everybody and everything. There is absolutely no need for any of the things that are going on in the world today to be going on. If people could just understand their connection to each other, we could stop everything in 3 seconds flat. We could change this entire reality into something that is absolutely wonderful and absolutely beautiful. Because that is what it actually is. It's just that we are convinced by our corrupt governments and by the corrupt megalomaniacal lunatics who run them, which is the banking elite and the European monarchy. If we could just free ourselves of this corrupt frequency that has tried to take over humanity through the continual perpetuation of fear, we could change the world in 3 seconds. Protesting is all very well. You go out and you protest in the streets. Even the 2 million people march to Washington. I mean, it's good to do something, sure. I mean, you get frustrated, you've got to do something. Well, what was the intention of the march? I don't know. What was the intention? I mean, these things are good, but really, instead of getting angry and marching to Washington, and I know it's hard to do, but what if you got loving and loved your neighbours and told them what's going on, told them what's really going on, sat them down and said, hey, look, this food's full of toxins, turn off your television, look at what's actually happening in the world, and wake them up. Wake them up. If everybody woke up, we could literally change things. All the greed, all the want for money, all the want for social status, this is all rubbish. It's all illusion. It's all been taught to you by television, by corrupt media. The media doesn't tell you the truth. All the media does is lie. I will challenge every single television announcer. You're a liar. Every single one of you. Every single one of you. And all the leaders of our countries. Mr. Rudd, you're a liar. President Obama, you're a liar. You say you want to commit 60,000 more troops to Afghanistan in order to find the people that killed 3,000 Americans on September the 11th? Well, here's a clue for you, Mr. Obama. Go and investigate the Bush regime. Go and investigate the Rothschilds. Go and investigate the bankers who actually run the show and walk your talk and start acting like a man instead of a trained puppet. That might be a go, don't you think, Mr. Obama? Try doing something right. Try thinking for yourself and actually doing the right thing instead of just leading the American people and the rest of the world down the garden path and delivering the human race into the gates of hell. That might be an idea, Mr. Obama.